Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Jamfet Live for this Friday, the 29th of October. It's the night before, well, it's almost Halloween for those who celebrate Halloween in real life.
Welcome to Payson.
Tonight we're going to be discussing the Public Sex Offenders Registry. We want to talk about whether or not you think that Jamaica needs to put in place an offenders registry. And basically, what that is that people who have committed whatever offense, they are liable to being listed, and the public has the right to know. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. Okay. Okay. So, greetings, one and all. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Welcome. Welcome to this edition of Jamfet Live. Tonight, we're talking about the need to implement a sex registry and sex offenders registry. What that is basically if you commit an offense against a sexual offense, whether it's assault or abuse, or attempted assault or attempted abuse, you are put in a list, and this list is made available to the public. And so, for example, if you are employing someone, or if you are renting your house, or if you have, say, a football team that is being coached by someone, you have the right to know whether or not this person has been convicted of whatever crime, especially if it's a sexual crime. So that's pretty much what we want to talk about tonight. Do you think that people who have been convicted of a sexual offense, should they be should that be public knowledge? If somebody abuse a 13-year-old girl, or boy for that matter, should that information be made public so that people who, um, say, parents or even schools who are employing that person would be made aware that this person has already committed an offense, so we need to um, make a decision as to whether or not we want that person to be around kids, etc. So that's a discussion that we need to have. And we have to ask the question if Jamaica or Jamaicans are mature enough to deal with such an information. And the question can also be extended to other categories. Like, I don't know, if somebody committed a murder and did his time in prison and is coming out back in the public, should the public know about that person? Should the public know about, say, people who beat their wives or their girlfriends or physically? You understand? Should that information be made readily available to the public? Tremaine's God's glory is here. Greetings to you, Tremaine. Tremaine said, Tremaine's a Jamfet journalist. We're trying, Tremaine. We're trying. Um, we are trying to build up a following about um, news and current events and that sort of thing. So I hope say we can attract some more people, because to be honest with you, after you monetize, Sashibu is in the house. Sashibu, greetings to you, Sashibu. Sashi, Sashi said, remember to give a thumbs up. 4 people here with 1 thumbs up. Sashi, sometimes you gotta have 100 people and like 10 thumbs up. I don't understand how that works. I don't understand how it works, but guys, remember to give me a thumbs up if you can. Yeah, I was saying that after you monetize, Tremaine, you have to try to attract other people to your channel outside of content creators, because the fact of the matter is that content creators, them now gonna have no time for your channel. I mean, some people will try and find time, but we won't be able to find time to support all the channels that we were supporting before. So you have to sort of replace your content creators by attracting people who are coming to your channel for your content. That's why it's important to do more videos after you become monetized. That is when you do more videos. That is when you do more lives and things like that, to try to attract more people. And I mean, sometimes you're going to find that you attract whole heap of people, and then another time you're gonna find that nobody knows their own. But you have to keep on pushing, because a lot of people who are not yet monetized, let me tell you something. When you're not monetized, you all are in for a rude awakening. When I'm telling you, say the money barely move, is, my mother would have said, it's 2 pence. 2 pence, like, it's really, really small change. So, all those people who are expecting to make $1 million, you better start think about which audience you all want to try to attract, because it is not pretty up here. It's not pretty up here. You can because one of the frustration I had before I was monetized, I always said, I don't understand how come nobody can tell you how much money you're gonna make from YouTube. So that was like a big frustration. Like, I said, but what is the big secret? Why people can't tell you if you're gonna make $20 or $10 or so? Guys, the reason they can't tell you, because as Sasha said, it is 0.01. That is why we can't tell you. Like, one video is gonna have like 0.02 cents. Another one gonna have 0. You barely have a video that is over the $1 mark. It's very rare. Sasha said that's true. No jump fit at the topic. You see, oh, the other day you go over. Yes, because Tremaine mix up sell, you know. Mix up sell. The other day, I nearly turned idiot. I went up to 400. I never turn on a booster because a lot of people turn on boosters these days. But the topic did hot. The topic did hot, so it attract whole heap of fly. The honey did attract whole heap of fly. But now we're going back to we need some more hot topics from Jamaica. But we can't no more blood on them something there. We need some other type of hot topic. Yes, so I was trying to say that it's, as Sashi said, it's like 0.01 and 0.001. I know, so you see the money go up little. Like over the past, like this week has been a good week for me. This week has been a good week because I've had a number of videos that got some views, whole heap of views. Like one of my live got 9,000 views. The other one got like about 3,000. So this week, I see a little movement in the money department. But trust me, it's difficult to get rich up here. Mika and family is in the house saying, like up the live, people. Welcome to you, Mika. Welcome to you, everyone. We're 7 strong. We're trying to see how high we can get tonight. So the topic, do you think that we need a sex offenders registry? I mean, not even only as a sex offenders registry. Do you think we need an offenders registry? Say, suppose, for example, Jamfet is a known woman beater, and Jamfet always beat him woman. And Jamfet, I look one new woman. Should that information be somewhere where this girl with Jamfet at court should be able to go online and check a website and say, oh, but Jamfet always get in a trouble for beating woman. So me not really want that relationship. You see what I'm saying? Should that information be out there? People love those things. Look, like you have to go ask Auntie Donna for her content. I'm going to ask Solane if you come. I ask Solane if you come give me a little boost, Tremaine. But it's Friday, and we'll wait and see how we do tonight. Me used to love go up on Donna when Solane was there. Since Solane stopped, me not really go up on Auntie Donna no more. Because I'm a Solane fan. Sashi says the views will definitely help you if the CMR what it want name high. Yeah. Sometimes you have like one of my video that had like must 90,000. That one did not do well. I think we must make like 8 cents off of that video. But then you might have another video that doesn't do as well. Like you have like say 300 views, but you get like a higher like it seems like it's the topic sometimes. Like when I did the live about who should be Jamaica's next national hero, I guess a topic like that had a lot of positivity in it. So that live actually made a lot of money. Not outside of super chat, that live made a lot of money from like views, even though I didn't get a lot of views. But like you might have another live we talk about like that's why you see people like they don't write out things like sex or death or cult, because those things sort of put on the value of your video, because they're saying that advertisers don't really want to advertise with like a live where I go say death, for example. Irene Zab is saying hello everyone. Welcome to you, Irene Zab. How are you, my dear? How are you? Irene, are you monetized now? I wonder if Irene monetized. Sasha says, yes, we deserve to know. Yeah, it's a question. It's a question we have to ask. But Sashi, I wanted to say this week has been a very good week in terms of subs because we get almost 100 and I get almost 140, so something like that this week. So this was a good week. Let me try and share up the live, guys. I don't want to talk about Kevin Smith tonight again because I'm tired of Kevin Smith. Just be honest, let me share up the live now. Some group of it never make sense because them the people them I don't know if them still on YouTube. Me hear nothing from them. I don't know if they're still creating content or what. But a lot of people are MIA. All right, let's get back to the chat, guys. So that's good because they are genuine people. Supreme is saying, I agree. What do you agree with, Supreme? Are you saying that we need a sex offenders registry? Because the problem is, I'm not going to talk about Kevin Smith now, even though we don't really want to talk about him. The fact that this guy was convicted of a sexual offense in Canada and nobody seemed to know, right? Um, I'm asking the question, and then it's a legitimate question because with Jamaican people, let's say for example, this guy molests boys in Canada, and then him go to Jamaica, and Jamaican people know about it. They might kill him. I don't think them are gonna sit down and want associate with this man, and then know so the man go molest the young boys them in a Europe. Them probably gonna kill them, like just like how last week they killed the two girls. No, not the two girls. Two girls who got missing in St. Thomas. The people suspected somebody, allegedly thinking that it was that person, and they eventually ended up killing it. Because the thing is, we're gonna have a lot of jungle justice. We're gonna have a lot of jungle justice. So I guess the authorities going to ask the question: is the public mature enough to know this type of information? Because this is sensitive data. This is sensitive information. And if you know, say somebody molest a child, you ain't gonna want that person to work with or coach or teach your kids or stuff like that. So it's a big dilemma. It's a massive dilemma. You think like, no, a molester, especially if a pedophile, I can't walk like on it, God knows, and them stuff. Unless you go make them live in, I don't know. I don't know, because once upon a time, Mickey, they would say that country people wouldn't be violent, and it's only country people would chop them up now just the same. I don't think you have that divide anymore where people will say, okay, Kingstonians are more violent and country people will put up with certain. Country people will get them machete just the same and chop up the man. I imagine you walking. I mean, I'd like to think that if somebody make a mistake in them past, they can like rebound and um change. But I think something like pedophilia it's a I don't know. That is a serious thing. I don't know how you reintegrate somebody like that into the society. I think that people would probably be more um, accepting of a murderer than say somebody who is guilty of pedophilia. In Jamaica, I'm talking. I don't know for the other countries. You have some countries where pedophilia. I mean, I've seen like one guy who is a politician here in France, and he was on a TV program, and he was talking about like like looking at a young girl, like a child was the like that. He made some really shocking statements on the television, like sort of pedophilia type statements. And I mean, people hit out against it, but like it's not a big deal because this guy is a very popular politician in France. But even though nobody has accused him of pedophilia, but the things that he was saying about like taking off clothes off babies was a very sensual thing and stuff like that. You see what I mean? It depends on maybe where they live, maybe a two-strike rule. So Mickey's saying maybe if they have two offenses to their name, then but then are you not gonna say that if it happens to a second person, then we would have been careless? If a guy molests a child, and because we are saying, okay, we're not gonna expose him, we're gonna wait until he abuses a second child before we expose him, then that's gonna cause another problem. Because it's gonna be like, okay, we know that this guy is I mean, what is the real punishment to somebody who commits a crime of pedophilia? Indra Chance Boris, Evangelist Indra is in the house. Greetings to you, Evangelist. Indra says, good afternoon, host and everyone. David, Servant David is here as well, saying blessings, greetings, Chamfet. Greetings to you, David, as well. Blessings to everyone in the chat. So what we're saying, in light of the fact that this guy, this pastor, had a sexual offense charged to his name, should the public have been made aware of that information? Is that an information that the public needs to be aware of? Or if somebody is a rapist and they serve their time in prison and they're coming out, should the public not be able to access this guy's file to know that, okay, this guy is a rapist? So if I am going to work with him, I need to maybe bear that in mind, or something like that. Or somebody is a murderer and they have committed murder and they have done their time and whatever, and they're being released from prison now. But should the public not know? Like, if I am employing this person, should I not know that, okay, this person was in prison, this person committed a crime, the crime was murder, and that way I will know how to deal with the person. If you know, so probably no one get in an argument with the, you see what I mean? Thumbs up, done. I don't live in Jamaica, but I feel a crime like that deserves the the set penalty. Are you saying the death penalty, Servant David? Because we have to look, I mean, for a big, what we would say in Jamaica, horse-steering man, to look at a child in a sexual way that will cause them to touch or abuse a child. I mean, that is a sick, sick individual. I mean, we have had cases of 2-year-olds being molested sexually. We've had cases of 10-year-olds and 13-year-olds being pregnant and 9-year-olds being pregnant and that sort of thing. So David is asking a legitimate question. What is the penalty that somebody like that deserves? Is it just, okay, we put you in prison and then you just spend some time and then you come back and all is well? And, you know, look at all these Roman Catholic priests who the church sort of cover. I mean, yeah, when the cases came out at first, people were like very upset about it and shocked about it and stuff. But now, if you hear that a Roman Catholic priest molests a child, it's not going to be like anything. You're going to be like, oh, well, that's just something normal. Supreme is saying that's the duty of the law to work and not jungle justice. But we know, Supreme, that Jamaican people won't be mature enough to look at, say, a rapist and just reintegrate them in the society. If somebody is known to be a child molester, do you want that person to be your colleague? Or do you want that person to, and if that person was a teacher, do you want that person to be now just move and change schools and be in contact with kids again? David says, I always say the need to bring back the hangings for offenses such as what you're talking about, and no death toll as soon as proved guilty. Hang them. That's what David is saying. We need to hang them. I mean, it's a question we have to ask. In Europe, we don't have death penalty anymore. And if you tell somebody over here that you believe in the death penalty, they will look at you as if you're a savage. You know, for them, death penalty is a thing. It's barbaric, it's outdated, etc. But we need to ask, what is the punishment that we can mete out to somebody who's going to look at a 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 3-year-old and sexually abuse the child? I said, if a man kill another, depending on the reason, he should hang. I think, David, the reason a lot of people don't support death penalty is because the justice system is of such that you could be, especially in Jamaica, the Jamaican justice system is so corrupt and inefficient that I would be scared to be accused of murder in Jamaica. Because if you look at even the way this church has been treated, which is like a crime scene, and like the police, they went there a couple times, them look around, take 2 pictures, and then they just forget it as a crime scene. Like, how are they going to investigate that? You know, because basically they're saying, okay, the guy who committed the crime is dead, so let's just forget everything. And David is saying, for instance, I have a friend who's a cop who was just out, I have a friend who a cop was just out to get him. The cop beat him a few times and one day shot him, but he lived. He then went back and shot the cop a few months later and paralyzed him. Good question. How, like, emotional or what they call passion crime and stuff like that, do you make leeway for that? Because it's not the same as when you premeditate. And what do you say, for example, these men who are going to molest these kids and then they say, oh, it was a voice who came into my head that tells me so they must go. You understand? It's not a black and white situation. But the question is, should the public be given this information, and whatever happens, happens. I mean, I would like to know that if somebody is a child molester, I'm not going to send my child in vicinity of that person or leave my child alone with that person. David says, my friend got a few years well for that, but came out now. Should my friend get the death penalty? No, he should not, even if he killed him. That's a good question. Let's see, Indra. Indra has a spiritual take on it. She's saying that I believe that they should be aware of what is going on, because when Cain killed Abel, God placed a mark upon him that the people would know that he's a murderer. And I say yes to this. Yeah, because I think that if we did that, we would get and probably solve a lot of issues. Like, we're now going to make certain mistakes of, I'm not saying once a murderer, always a murderer, once a liar, always a liar. But chances are, if you think that you can get away with something, and if you have a certain kinky fantasy, which is to be with children, then clearly somebody needs to point you out to people who have children. And clearly you shouldn't be able to work in certain settings. I mean, I was looking on the internet and I didn't even realize that it was public in the US. You can just go on the website and you can search for anybody's name, and it comes up and it shows you what crime they did. It shows you the age of their victims. It shows you the year it took place. So there's a lot of information that is accessible to the public for people like these who commit this type of crime. But my question is, can Jamaica handle it? Can Jamaican people handle such a sensitive information? Like, you know, say, Mickey was saying it depends on where the person will live in Jamaica. I don't know. Because if I mean, ghetto, our country, our town, for me, is the same type of attitude. People are still going. I mean, I remember when I was at UWI, some of the most violent. I remember I was at UWI and one night, DJ's Family TV, greetings, bless up yourself. At UWI, and one night some thief come on the campus and I don't know what he was stealing, but they caught him on the UWI campus. And let me tell you, and I mean, UWI, we're talking about people who are studying for the doctor, lawyer, nurse, economist, all these people. And let me tell you something, they nearly killed the guy that night. They nearly killed the guy. I beg, some people have to beg for him, because if not, they would have killed that thief who came on the campus that night. So I don't think there's any safe haven for criminals, you know, if people know or find out certain information. But the question is, who are we protecting? Are we protecting the victims, or are we protecting the criminal? Because if you don't share the information, then clearly you're protecting the criminal. And I would like to think that this guy who was in Canada, who was convicted of a sexual offense, was able to come to Jamaica and set up shop with little boys. That is disturbing. David is saying, I am the most controversial servant. Many who believe or trust in God say, leave them to God. But if God is in you, then it's God who handles any issue. He used David to kill Goliath. He could have. Well, I mean, those who live by the sword shall die by the sword. It's not Old Testament, it's New Testament. That is New Testament scripture. Done it himself, says David. So he used a man or a little boy at that. But David, if somebody come today and say, God said, if you go kill somebody, what is going to happen? Like, let's say, let's be the devil's advocate now and say, this pastor who killed the woman, I him say, God said, if you kill the woman. How does that relate to the David and Goliath situation? Is that a legitimate question? Too much children today are being exploited and hurt, and the offenders sit in prison eating a 3 square meal. There you go, spot on. Right, that's Indra. I mean, how do we deal with these offenders? Because I am now thinking that, okay, nobody's going to probably say that the guy molested these boys, but everything is pointing into that direction. The fact that one of the guys who came on the television and he was saying that he got beaten severely because he was interested in one of the church sisters. And because he was interested in one of the church sisters, the pastor beat him with this water hose and make him hand black and blue, which is suggesting to me that was the pastor trying to say, okay, if you're interested in this girl, then it means that you're not interested in me, and so I'm going to beat you to stop. You understand what I'm saying? We're talking about a convicted sex offender here. And the problem, the thing is, the child, this guy says that he used to live at the pastor's house when he was 17 years old. 17 years old, and that is like the right age when people want to abuse kids. And remember, we're talking about somebody who has been guilty of abuse. So I think that a lot of us are the system. I don't know, but some. What are we gonna do now if, say, we find out if let's say 6 of those boys were to come out now and say, "Oh, you know, the pastor molested me." How are we gonna deal with that situation, knowing that this guy was a convicted sex offender and nobody knew about it? Who are we gonna blame? Who are we gonna lay the blame at? Whose feet? The police, the authorities? You understand? It is written, so let it be, says Indra. I mean, clearly, if a teacher I touch up the little picnic them in Canada, and by changing his country, you're not really dealing with the situation, you know. If somebody is abusing children in Canada and your response is, okay, we're going to deport that person to Jamaica, it don't mean that the person not going to abuse kids anymore. Patrick Watson, greetings to you, welcome. Patrick saying, what up, Jamfet? The fact that you change your country, you get deportation, it does not mean that, okay, you're not going to abuse future children. And that is the issue that I have now with this whole scenario. Jamfet, I don't give a rat whether what people want to say. If I feel I must kill a person, it will be justified. It will be justified within me and God. Just don't get in the way when I'm doing the slaughter. I'm dead already. So what can be done? Nothing. Yes, David, that's true. But the question is, if me, they are friends, and me I touch up the little boy them, or me I touch up the little girl, and me I come to Jamaica now, or come retire with my money when I earn, don't you think that the people in Jamaica have the right to know that, listen, this guy was convicted of abuse when he was in France? Or do we just say, okay, it's sensitive information, let's just forget it? Yummy Cooking with Joy says, blessings, Jamfet, and everyone in the chat. Thank you so much, Yummy, for joining us, and thank you for that thumbs up. Gillian Smith says the churches in Jamaica need to be regulated. Pastor and all church leaders need to be police checked. There should be an international register. And that's what I'm asking Gillian. Should everybody have access to this register? Should everybody have access to this register to say, okay, this guy, John Brown, is applying to teach at my school. Let me go upon the sexual offense register, or let me go check up John Brown file. Okay, John Brown beat 5 women in the past. He's a wife beater. Or John Brown has been selling drugs. He's a drug whatever salesman. Or John Brown has been convicted of sexual crime. Should everybody have access to that information? Because okay, if we're gonna say only the police have access to the information, what about the fact that okay, we might have schools who might employ this person, or what about the fact that we might have vacation centers, educational centers, we might employ this person, or what about the fact that we might rent this person a room in a tenement yard where we'll picnic. You understand what I'm saying? So who should have this information that listen, this guy has history, or this woman has history of being in foul play with the law? Guys, please remember to give me a thumbs up if you haven't yet done so. And if it's your first time, please hit that subscription button. Simple Things Outreach Media says, come out of the jam fet. I am great, Simple Things. Good to see you. You sleep already? I dozed off this morning. Yummy Cooking with Joy saying blessings, Servant David. Simple says, hope you're good today. Yeah, man, all is well. You're for dead. That's how they will know you was committed. That's what Servant David is saying as it relates to these offenders. Blessings to everyone in the chat from Simple Things. Yummy blessings. Blessings, Simple Things. Simple Things is a Christian, so maybe she can give me her spin on this as well. Who should have access to this information? That, listen, these people have done criminal things in the past. Indra saying, the only way for them to change, they must be willing and ready to accept Christ and receive full deliverance. So, Indra, are you saying that, let's say these people are in prison, and while in prison they have accepted Christ, then we just forget that information then? Because part of the problem, and a lot of people are saying, is that the church has become a haven for a lot of abusers or wife beaters or molesters, because they can hide behind the fact that, okay, I am a changed human being. And people are going to be like, oh, yes, man, he's changed. God touched him and him turned his life around, etc. But how many people have really changed? How many people have really moved on? How many people are really capable of saying, okay, I used to be attracted to young girls under 10, and now I'm in the church, so I'm not attracted to young girls under. Do you understand what I'm saying? Hello, Joy. Stream Elements reminding Simple Things to give me a thumbs up. That's Indra's channel. Here in the traffic says Simple Things. David says, no, only certain people should have that information. Certain people meaning those who involved with the things that you just mentioned. So, David, the problem is if you're renting a house and you don't have the information, you could be putting other people at risk. If you in a school and you don't have the information, you could be putting other people at risk. If you are in charge of the cricket team or netball team and you don't have that information, you could be putting other people at risk. So the problem is, who should have the information? Or are we just going to just say, all right, we're going to just give the elite people the information? I think what's going to happen is a lot of people won't be trusting church people anymore. Gillian Smith says, no, it's a mental health issue. And that was a topic that we dealt with last night, Gillian. we were talking about mental health and the role that mental health play in the society and how we deal with mental health as a whole. Because the fact of the matter is, we in Jamaica, we don't know how to deal with people with mental health. We don't know how to deal with people with mental health issues. And oftentimes we find, say, instead of finding help for these people, we add to the abuse. We're going to lick them, we're going to throw water on them, we're going to lick them with juice bottle, we're going to dash the food on them, the floor. You understand? So instead of really being a part of the solution for these people, we end up pushing them even to the extremes. Because clearly, if any big austere man will ever look upon one like a picnic and be sexually attracted to the picnic, clearly there's something that is wrong upstairs. I'm not even gonna say picnic. Any man who want have sex with a woman and the woman say no and you insist, then clearly there's an issue as well. If this person is saying, no, I don't want to, and you believe that you are going to take it by force, there's an issue that's wrong upstairs as well. So maybe you are suffering from a mental illness as well. Big up to Servant David from Patrick Watson. Up top says Straight Yarded Vibes. Welcome to you, Straight Yarded. Blessings to you, Patrick. Julian says, prayer alone can't help. They need therapy. I agree with you. They need, and if you imagine the amount of people who are going to be messed up now, Jillian, because one, maybe those boys who are living in that house who were probably abused, and I would like to think that they were abused, all right? Because you think people abuse people. Sometimes they try to get your trust. Nobody now go just walk up to a stranger and start molest them and touch them, You understand what I'm saying? You're going to do it to people who you're going to make feel comfortable with you, to trust you, and then you start moving upon them. You understand? So all those guys who are living at this pastor's house, them probably were abused in some way. I mean, come on, the pastor, they're saying now that this pastor used to tell people to shave them genitalia in church. So let me ask you something. If this man could go to church and tell people to strip naked and shave them private parts, why do you think that he might go live with all these young boys and not tell them so they must do the same thing or show him what? It's a very disturbing issue. And the fact is, now we're discussing the situation with the knowledge that this guy was already accused and convicted of sexual crime. But if you're convicted of sexual crime, nobody has that information. Canada send you down to Jamaica, them not inform nobody. Or if the people were informed, them not tell nobody. And now you are able to set up your shop with all these underage boys. Then clearly that is disturbing. That is very disturbing. Straight Yards Vibes says, church turned big business now. That's what Yardy Vibes is saying. David says, landlord, where in your list? Yeah. Should I know before me give you a job, say, listen, this person, yeah, careful because that person, yeah, have XYZ number of child abuse claim or accusation against them. You understand? And the fact of the matter is, guys, when it comes to like child abuse, some people would, if you knew, if you knew all the people who have molested others, whether it's their children or other people's children or underage people, you will be absolutely shocked. And I think that if we look and we see all these superstars and rich people, and a lot of us sometimes are like, why are these people coming out and accusing all these rich people of abuse? And we're thinking, oh, maybe they want their money. Maybe sometimes it's the money, but maybe sometimes it's actually true. Because when you're in a position of influence and power, and you can tell somebody say, okay, you're gonna pay them school fee, but you need to touch them in a certain areas, or you're gonna find them a place to live, but them have to go give you whatever in exchange. That for me is abuse as well. David is saying most the people in Jamaica, most so David is saying most of the people in Jamaica have mental health. So who are gonna help who? Well, clearly, David, that is not an issue that is addressed well enough. When you say last year, was it last year you have the politician man that beat the woman with the chair? And this is an elected official in the highest position in the country. And him take the chair and I beat the woman. That cannot be a normal behavior for a human being. Simply saying John Fed is an interesting topic, but I'm in the kitchen and can't get to participate in much. That's all right, simple. You know, some defend food all the time. Clearly, he's demon possessed and mad, says Indra. And David is saying here in Connecticut, anyone and everyone has access to that information as long as they register. And that's the information that I was looking at because before I started the line, I was browsing the US offenders list, and you could see everybody who commit any type of molestation over there. And you could see like the name of number one, you could see their pictures. They had the information about the age of the person they molest, where them live, where they move gone. All this information is available to everybody. But the problem in Jamaica is if you make this information available and you hear someone child molester, I will come live in your community in Jamaica. And make say one swing song in the yard. And you see the guy in the yard beside the picnic in the swing song. You're probably going to kill him. Jamaican people. Jamaican people are going to kill the man. So that is part of the problem why they probably won't be releasing the data because we know, me know and Uno know say the people them will kill them. Anything that continues to happen in a person's life becomes a curse, says Indra. Clearly, because they're saying that this pastor had a number of people in his family who had mental illness. So if the mother have mental illness, we can see with that. But if everybody in the family have some mental disorder, then clearly it can be a curse. It can be what they call generation curses sometimes, where whereby it's passed down from one generation to another. But I do believe that pedophilia and things like that, it's a mental disease. When people are able to, take out an 8-month-old child and have sexual intercourse with that child, like that cannot be normal. You better you go get one goat down a country. Indra is saying, so a lot of these people are functioning under dangerous curses. And you better believe that even in the church, Indra, some of these people are functioning under curses. Some of them belong to certain lodges, right? And I don't know what happens in lodges apart from what people might say, but from ever since growing up in Jamaica, you hear say lodges are things that are incompatible with the gospel, and sometimes you're asked to make certain sacrifices, and then if you can't make the sacrifice, then you're going to be killed. You're going to have your tribe gushed out. Some of these things are the promises that you have to join the lodge. I must find the Freemason vows. But if you look at some of the vows that these people have to take, they will shock you. Remember one of my classmates, them find her with her head cut off, or two hands cut off, or 2 foot cut off. And she, I mean, the girl was like, um, at the time, she would have been 17 years old. Now, clearly, what could a 17-year-old child possibly do to you to cause you to cut off her head, her 2 hands, and her 2 foot then? What could a 17-year-old child possibly do? Apart from the fact that, well, clearly it's a demonic thing or a witchcraft thing. That's true, says Indra. Holistic Living with Abby Stalker Mom is in the house. Welcome, Holistic Living. Abby Stalker Mom, hope you're doing well. Hi, everyone, says Abby. Indra dropping her link. And Servant David saying, Jamfet, I have the cure for that disease, but like holistic doctors, they won't let us cure. Putting in jail and those things are equal to treatment, not cures. That's what I'm saying, David. If somebody, if like, I could use us then. If I don't like dashi and cocoa, yes, it no matter what you do, you could have barbecue it, fry it, grate it, crush it. Me not like dashi and cocoa, so I am not going to like. In the same way, me might like jerk pork or pork in any form, yes. So clearly, if somebody likes pedophilia or children, they're going to continue to like children, irrespective of whether you put them in a jail or not. And that them like. They're not going to stop like children because you put them in jail. Or they're not going to stop like children because you put them on one sex offenders list. Or they're not going to stop like children because you're going to expose them. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're still going to like children because that is what they like. That's how a pedophile. If a man beat a woman, it no matter what you do to him, if you give him one fat woman, one maga woman, one nice woman, one horrible woman, him believe in beating woman. That is what him like, and he is going to do it irrespective of whether you take him to the police station or not. The woman might go and complain, lock him up 10 times at the police station, and he's still going to believe, he's still going to lick the woman because that is what he believes in. That is what he like. And in the same way, pedophiles like children, and irrespective of what we're going to do to them are going to like children. So how are we going to counter that? The only way we're going to counter that is by empowering other people to be able to deal with these people. And empowering other people means that other people need to know. They need to have the information to be able to counter whatever these people are going to come with. Doing okay, says Abby. Jamaica need to go with the time. They far in the past with a lot of things. That is true as well. And the registry is one, says Abby. But Abby, do you think Jamaica and Jamaicans are mature enough to have that type of information? Because clearly, them are going to use jungle justice and take matters into their own hands. Because if you see one man touch one little girl and him come back into the community after 2 years, same do 2 years, whatever, you're probably not going to want to accept that. You're going to want to take justice in your own hands. Imagine me have my son and someone move over as my neighbor, I should be able to know if it's a sex offender or not. That's what Abby is saying. And Abby, that is what is disturbing me the most about this pastor. And not even the truth them when the man cutting up. To be honest with you, the thing that disturbs me most is not the facts him cut the truth or the facts of the police them corrupt. Is the fact that he was a sexual offender and him come to Jamaica and set up shop and was able to bring in all these young underage people, where a lot of them were not even 18. Because one of the guys who came on TV just said he was 17. And these parents, not knowing that this man is a pedophile, right? Because, well, a rapist. We don't know the charge. We don't know the extent to at we don't know to what extent the charge in Canada. They said it was a 21-year-old man. All right. I don't know how old this guy was at the time, but it's irrelevant. Him have a sex offense record. And he was able to come to Jamaica and set up shop in a mansion with all these underage boys and all these church mothers, not knowing, say, the man have a sexual record, right? They allowed their children, got underneath for listen, we need to protect our kids a lot better than that. A lot of us are too careless with picking them. We cannot, I mean, everybody knows that things and times have changed. So we cannot just leave with kids to expose to anybody like that. Whether a pastor, deacon, the whole of we know the Catholic priest then rape off the little people, right? So none of we are supposed to make with young boys or young girls say them they are pastor yard. That's to the point where them live a pastor yard. That cannot be right. That can't right. And we clearly know how people at the church have molested kids for years and years and years. And our children, we're going to make them go for pastor yard because we want pastor give a special blessing, or because we're going to want pastor. And David agrees with Abby, said Jamaica stuck in the past. I tell you. Saran says, no, I don't think they're clear because, as I said, most have mental issues. So how them are going to help? They might forget to register the offender even when them come to register. David, they might not have no book or them computer might not work when them come to register them. Abby said, since COVID, certain things move online. Alex says, greetings, everyone, blessings. Welcome, Alex and Jackie. Pick up with yourself. Something simple as a delivery is an issue. It is true that we run like a third world country, same way. And certain things, and I was making a point 2 nights ago, say, even the fact, say, we allow churches to just collect money every Sunday, and nobody don't know how much money collect, nobody don't know how much money them a make, nobody don't know how much tax them to pay, and all them something there. A slackness. We run the country like patty shop, not even patty shop no run so. Gillian is making a good point, saying that most sex offenders were once victims. And I agree with you, Gillian, but I don't think that excuses the situation. A lot of these men who have sexual issues, a lot of them were molested. That is true. Now, ask nobody about that one. David says, "Me feel even Andrew have me." Call it, Andrew. Call it. David said, "Me feel even Andrew have mental issues." I agree, Jamfet, and most sexual abuse comes from trusted individuals. Pastor, neighbor, stepdad, and stepmom. Guys, you're not supposed to know by now. So not even stepfather not supposed to, As a matter of fact, not even the picnic father, you're not supposed to trust. To the point where you leave kids them with the daddy. It's sad, but it's the truth. Fathers molest them daughter and them son. So you should, always be, I mean, as mothers or fathers, your eyes should always be open. You can't have somebody who always a come over the yard for dinner or for watch TV. Come on, watch TV at your own yard. Play a video game at your own yard. You don't have to come on my yard, come amongst where me pick with them. Clearly. They have some big man who can't stay for them yard. Them have to come around, right? Then come around to eat and you just accommodate them and them chat or play domino or ludo or whatever. But then when you get tired and gone in our bed and you left that the person in the city with the child, what will happen? Because I heard an incident of a lady who said that her uncle, when her parents went to sleep, her uncle, who was in the same house with them, would have called her over in the living room while her parents are sleeping and molest her in the same house with the parents them in there. Because once you're a molester, nothing not gonna stop. Listen, as me say, I love jerk pork, and when me there Jamaica, nothing not stop me from get finding which part of the pork I jerk. You understand? So if you're a molester, nothing will stand in your way of getting your victim to molest them. If you want pedophile, nothing not gonna stand in your way to get to your child, your victim. You understand? So even if it's the mentality says, Abby, I listened to the interview, the young man said some parents left their children to live with him. And yes, that's what I'm saying, Jillian, and it's mostly boys, but at the end of the day, would these parents have left their kids if they had known that this man did go molest somebody in Canada? Servant David says, I disagree with you, Jamfet, about the father thing. David, I'm sorry, but me not think fathers supposed to have too much access to in data. Me think even after a while, the father not supposed to beard the data. Maybe I'm old school or backward, but as some think, me not think the father them fi have too much access to the daughter's privacy. You understand? And I'm not saying fathers, but you don't know. You don't know. There are a lot of kids who have been molested by their fathers. Enough man and woman, boys and girls, have been molested by their fathers. We don't know about the mother part too much. I guess it does exist, but a lot of fathers have molested their kids. It's true, Jamfet, but we always have to be on the lookout. Right, me not say the father can have access to the child or can hug the child, etc. But I'm just saying that you have to be aware. You have to open your eye and know what's going on. Make sure that your kids are talking. You understand? I've been saying whether daughter or son, the mentality needs to change though, Jamfet. Instead of cussing some underage girl or them forced right, we should be looking at the predators. Exactly, and the parents as well. A lot of parents, they went through the same situation, and especially in the church. When the young girls them get pregnant in the church, the parents them now go court because remember in a church them say well, you're not supposed to take people go court, so they're not gonna take the church brother to court. Them are gonna just pray about it, right, and deal with it. But we have to ask the question if that is enough. Not the damn victim, says Abby, become too common blaming the kid. We blame a lot of kids, that's true. We blame a lot of victims. If a woman get raped, we're gonna say she did not wear skimpy clothes, or she did want it. And especially the women. Women, a lot of women are really hard with other women. Indra says a lot of people like to put their children in other people's hands too much without finding out details about them. That is true, Indra. And I don't think it's like first time when everybody in the community know each other and could trust them one another and stuff. I mean, No, I don't even think people know them neighbors anymore like one time. Tough greenback man, I look picking. Yeah, Abby, I disagree with the father thing though. All right. So people are disagreeing with me with the father thing. What you can do is create an environment for the child to come to you if the dad, brother, or whatever touch you inappropriately and feel safe to do so. And I think that's the point I'm trying to get at, Abby. We need to create and cultivate a relationship where our kids will talk to us. Because you know, so back in the day, we never used to talk to forward parents. My mother didn't ever talk to me about no sex. And me no remember my father, when my father tried to talk about nothing like that, we get, as a matter of fact, we were so uncomfortable because my father was a pastor. And if we in the city and we are watch Santa Barbara or Bold and the Beautiful at the time, and if we see two people start kiss, we get so uncomfortable because we father, you know? So we start look where I go on, like where I read one book or something. And then we father go say, go on the bed. If I run well with bed. And now they didn't teach us to talk about things like that. So I don't know. I guess more middle class families will have more discussions among the parents and but like poor families, where people was working class will have, I guess things at times probably change. But me know say back in the days, we never used to can talk to our parents about that. Children are seen and not heard. David says, if I am a child father and the mother don't trust me around my kid or her kids, then she don't need to be trusting me for child support. David is radical enough. David, David is too radical. David, no, what I'm saying is, Melanie, I think that you just have to always be aware, like a hawk around your kids. And if you're the father, you need to be a hawk as well. You understand what I'm saying? But there are I don't know. Are you saying, David, that you don't have a problem showing your child at after say 6? I don't think say a father should be dressing them daughter after say 6 years old. I don't know. I don't know. You have to help me, guys. Do you think there's an age where the father needs to stop, like showering and dressing the little girl? Let me know what you think. Child support is not everything, dear, says Abby. David with the super chat. Thank you so much, David, for your support and your contribution, although you're giving trouble tonight. But thank you so very much. Cuckoo Jamfet says royalty. Guys, this is a word that you're learning tonight. Cuckoo, it means hello in French. So you can say cuckoo to somebody. All right. Holistic says this topic hold me today. When it comes to the most vulnerable in society, my skin catch a fire, says Abby. That's right, Abby. That's right. When I say, me not think a father should be showering their child after 6 years old. Maybe I am a bit naive, but I don't think after 6. Yes, 6, because at 6 you can shower yourself, don't it? I don't. Nowadays, picking a food. When we were children, we used to can go shop and pipe and do the things by ourselves when we were 6. Get dressed ourselves, and I don't know if they're not picking nowadays have them the sense that they do those things. Gillian says, I believe they would still send their children sad. It's typical Jamaican mentality. They would say it's in the past, you commit the offense, or who is up without sin cast the first stone. No, that is a big point there, Gillian. Big point there. How many of those parents, if them know, as a matter of fact, them are going to say a lie, not go so. Them are going to say a lie, not go so. The pastor never have no. But guys, hang on a minute. Talking about this pastor, I saw a video today where the man there in Nigeria preached. In Nigeria, The man had a Nigerian accent, no, and he was there preaching to all the Nigerian people. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, have mercy. I've heard the man preaching in Canadian accent, Jamaican accent, and Nigerian accent. This guy was really gifted. Really gifted. We're going to do a Netflix series off of him. He was there. You don't want the power now. You don't want the power now. That was how he was there preaching in Nigeria. I saw the video today. But it is true, Jillian, that if somebody, I remember in one of my churches, they had this thing where the girl came forward. A church sister came forward and said that the pastor slept with her. And some of the people in the church take off Jesus off of the cross and said, no, go so. The girl, they interviewed the girl on numerous occasions, and she said, yes, it did happen. I did sleep with the pastor. The pastor did have intercourse with me. And some of the people who are staunch supporters, them said, no, go so. And the clear example is with PNP and JLP. I'm sure say some JLP people are going to tell you, say the man, well, the woman with the chair, and never him, or the chair never catch the woman, are they going to find some way to defend their own? When people believe in you and I take up for you, you can do no wrong. I say the man are spitting at the people them face, and they still did it in awe of this guy because they believe in the guy. So if you believe in someone and they must spit on you. Oh my God, people are really, really fool sometimes. And I guess all of us are like that. None of us are like that because we're gonna have somebody where we like. Even some of our kids. Some people, them pick me with do something wrong. And them are going to take off Jesus off of the cross and say, no, go say liar till family pick them, never tell you no bad word. And you are going to say, yes, but of course the kid told me bad word. And when you take the video and show the parents, them I say, see you pick me your cuss, but them are going to say, it's not my child, it's not my child. I don't know I make up lie. And when them see say them can't defend the pick no more, them are going to say, yes, but I don't force him to talk the bad word. You understand what I'm saying? Indra says, I have 3 children. When they were small, I never sent them anywhere with anyone, not even family, not even church camp. I used to watch them like a hawk. That's what Indra says. And that's what I'm saying. We have to watch you picking them like hawk. Me know say if me have children, I when me have children, me I go, not even me. Not even me. Now I go camp there with them alone. As some me say. 3/4 of these men already have nothing to give anybody financially. So this is in response to David. I said 3/4 of the men them don't even have the money to pay child support. So that the argument then now go down. Abby's laughing. Natisha says, good evening, everyone. Welcome, Natisha. Don't forget your thumbs up, miss. Royalty says, sometimes you trust fathers after you hear daddy don't touch me this story. Yeah. I mean, me not say everybody is a rapist or a molester, but I'm just saying that we all have to be careful. David says, no man or woman should be bathing children once they reach 4 years young. They should be bathing themselves unless they have health issues which are obvious. And that me said to David, many things say no, this is like some video on TikTok and on Facebook of the father in the sod bath with them picnic. And them a kiss up and people that say, oh, that's so cute. Me not find it cute. I find it very disturbing. I find it extremely disturbing. After a certain age to be in sod bath with your people. I don't know. As I said, maybe I am too radical, but me no know. Me no believe. Abby says, honestly though, if you don't trust the father enough to change him kid, you shouldn't breed. Abby said, if you don't trust the man for being your picnic, you shouldn't breed for him. And that is a very good point, Abby. Everybody laughing. Jamfet, stop your rubbish about kids now. No idea with sense. Cha, when you was 6, could you work a computer or tablet? Move on there. Just yesterday, a 5-year-old showed me how to check my watch. That is true. The kids today, they know. I remember when my little nephew was 2 years old, and he might go on the tablet and he might find everything. No matter how you hide the game, then panic. He might find, he might find it. But I don't think they're independent like, oh, we used to be in it. Like, none of my kids then can cook, even though they were like 10, 11, 12. When we are 6 and 7, we start put on peas for the rice and peas and stuff like that. So I guess, we don't know. I guess them advance in some areas and backward in some. So true, Jamfet. And them, no sister, them I teach them to be a liar. That's correct. I don't trust no pastor boy, says Abby. Come on. Abby, I say, yeah, but when they lay hands on you and tell you, say, you're going to get that new house, and you're going to get that new car, and you're going to get that new job, and you're going to get that husband that you've always been praying for. You're not going to remember what you say, but you're not trust them. You are going to take you're going to so glad for the prophecy, you're going to just take your paycheck and just give them the whole life. Natisha is in the house saying blessings, everyone. Greetings to you, Natisha. Big up yourself. Anytime them go on to all, I'm afraid of them, says Abby Starker, ma'am. 4, yeah, age 4. Or don't have no picnic. So, Abby, what age do you think a father should start showing them their kids? I don't know what David I talk about. 4-year-old, I don't think 4-year-old can be themselves because them can't reach the rock. But 6 years old, I'm thinking 0 to 6, mother and father can be them. From 6 to 8, only the mother. And then after 8, them be themselves. That is the Jamfet theory. I'll be push it down with throat so we don't know picnic. So when David 4-year-old can be themselves good. They're not gonna drown themselves. Don't Natisha. When they are 4, they can't be themselves. You see the mother them are come out and talk. 4 or by 6. David the woman them are beat you up now. You can start teaching to bathe, but you have to help them. Rubbish about 4. So Abby, you never have no sense when you're 4 or 6. Me didn't have sense to be myself when I was 6. I'm sure that. Hold on, 6. When I was 6, I was in grade 2. Of course, I be myself when I was 6. How about Abby? So what age you learn to be yourself? Indra says, Jamfet, this conversation of child molestation needs to be spoken out more often because many persons has the skeleton in their closets and was not defended. There you go, Indra. There you go. A lot of us got molested at some point or another when we were children. And to be honest with you, it just take one inappropriate touch. Some people don't get fully raped, but one inappropriate touch will violate you and mess you up for the rest of the whole of your life. Jillian says, children easy to drown in. Children easy to drown in bath, so there's no set age. Parents have to judge themselves. Now we're gonna make sure so for me them not drown. We're gonna give them a bath pan, Julian. Bath pan that exists no more. So true, Indra. David says, I don't trust them either. I can put hands on myself, says David. I was 6 years old and scrubbing veranda with dry coconut. I thought me I say we used to go pipe and then something when we were 6. How about the Abby and Natisha? We used to We used to go to the pipe, fill water, buckle with tank, with drum and them something. We used to do that at 6 years old. So how we couldn't bathe ourselves. Every child is different. My niece is 6 and I help her. I help to bathe her. Sometimes because you send her to bathe, they come back, their neck, back, black like dirt. I mean, enough time my mother them used to send me go bathe. And when we go to the bathroom and touch that the water there, and that the water there was so cold, we just wipe off our foot and wipe off our neck because she always I feel the neck part. We just wipe off our neck part to make it look, feel like a wettish and wipe off our foot, and that was our bathe. That was how we used to bathe sometimes. Must Einstein and your daddy says, Abby, 4 is too young. Jamfet, at 4 you can bathe, but not 100% good. I teach my daughter, and at 4 she was on her own. And I said, but 4 year old no people with enough sense. How about them people that no make me a doubt? I'm thinking 4 years old, you can talk, you can walk, you can be yourself, and you can boil your own a tea. Or 4 too young for yeah, maybe 4 too young for the tea. But we used to I think we used to cook when we were 6. But I remember, but I think I used to cook when I was 6. Then don't be a good, says Abby. Okay, Sir David, says Royalty. Hold on, my jam fed. How are you? You're good. I am good. Crystal. All is well. We're talking about holy person thing. At what age do you learn to shower by yourself? And at what age do you allow your kids' father to shower them? Can we spell mental health? Says David. I mean, I don't think everybody is mentally I don't think everybody mad. I don't think everybody are gonna look for one pick me and say me want to have sex with. Because in my head, I'm just thinking that is the most when I say like impossible thought, that just me don't know. Like I think somebody must be like very, very mental to look at a child or even somebody and as a matter of fact, even when you look at somebody who is 19, 20, they look like they're not developed yet. So how could you pass somebody who are 19, 20 and reach all the way at 6 and 7 and 5 and all 8 months? Man, that is like a serious mental issue. That is like mental with demons and I don't know. Kristen says she don't remember what age she learned to bathe herself. Boil tea at 4 to rot. I think we could have do things, but I can't remember now. I can't because I went to school when I was 2.5. I remember when we used to go basic school, and I had a lot of sense when we used to go basic school. So I mean, I don't remember, yeah, man. I don't remember. When I say a hood fire, me did have so we did learn to use fire quick, Abby. I didn't get electric stove. I didn't get gas stove till probably about age 8. So the first 8 years of my life, I wood fire with wood fire and coal. And me learn to boil tea quick. Cersei tea and all them stuff. So but yeah, I don't think fathers should bathe their kids after 6 years old. Or if they are bathe them after 6, the mother should be there. Or somebody, some adult should be there. But I don't really like the idea. I think that after like 4, 5, 6, you have to start teach your daughter to protect her private parts. And you understand what I say? I'm not sure it to everybody and stuff. AG born Jamaican in the house saying blessings and respect. Welcome, AG. Bless up yourself. Hope you're doing well. I would say me did a work when me was 6. But that's what I'm saying. We used to do things back then. We used to go look wood in the bush. We have to go pick up bram to make the fire. Then we have to go a pipe. Because, all right, give you a perfect example. When Hurricane Gilbert came to Jamaica, I was 7 at the time. When Gilbert, I remember clearly the morning when Gilbert come to Jamaica, and me wake up the Monday morning to go to school, and mommy was like, "Oh no, you're not going to school today because hurricane." At the time, we don't know what a hurricane is. And I remember she sent me to shop, and me go shop by myself. I was 7 at the time. Me go shop, me buy what she sent me to buy, me carry come, and then she send me go pipe. And me and my sister would go pipe, we full the buckle, and we came back. And when we were coming back from the pipe, the rain started for June. The first Hurricane Gilbert rain started for June. And I was 7 years old. So, oh no, I gotta tell me we never have sense when we were 6. Me didn't have enough sense when we were 6. Because 6 was like grade 1. After that first slap for being nasty, I learned quickly, says Servant David. David, remember say Mandeville we there now. So in Mandeville, we had a lot of like red dirt. So if you play out a door, you know, say your foot dirty up with this red dirt. So when mommy said we should go bathroom, I remember say Mandeville water colder than the normal. So we can't bathe in that the water there night time. We just start splash the water. We splash the water in the bath. Make nice with we hand in the water. And then we just wash off our foot from we knee down. And then we just wash, wet up we neck to make she feel say we used to be. But sometimes we couldn't manage the cold water if them don't want we boil the water. So, but I think the point we're making is that we just have to be careful with the picking them here, man. Like, we can't trust neighbor like one time, and we can't trust uncle like one. I'm gonna take off the father off of it. I'm gonna withdraw the father since everybody disagree with me. But like uncle and family friend and cousin and them stuff, we have to be careful with the kids them around. We have to be careful. It's not like one time. And nowadays, a lot of things that we used to think were taboo, not taboo no more. Right? David says, John, if a person can look at a donkey or pig or picnic, and even enough uncle at the you see the trouble there. Trouble there, David. David is saying enough uncle at the father. I agree totally with that. And let me tell you, it's not just in a Game of Thrones. David says, if a person can look at a donkey or a pig or picnic and even think about intimacy, then pass mental health. And I agree totally. But now, what could I? Although deep down in a David, me rather than go to the pig. Me rather than go to the pig or the goat. Because I know one guy in my district did go to one goat one time. I don't know when did I do with the goat, but everybody call him goatee. I think every district in Jamaica has a goatee. Every district in Jamaica has one pick there, somebody will funnel the goat and then call them goatee after that. But I just think that I don't know. I don't know. I guess it depends on how you socialize or how you I don't know. You have to mad. You have to mad. If you look for a young person. And you know, it happened to me, guys. I remember clearly it was one Saturday night I go football practice, right? I was going to football practice the Saturday, And when we reached the football ground, nobody was there. Nobody. And then this guy, this Australian man, was there. Well, he was like a footballer, but in like the 18s. So looking back now, he was probably about in the under 23 team or so. And me, I was 11. And CDE in the house. Big up yourself, CDE. Greetings to you. And we just find say the person come and talk to me, but me not imagine anything because I'm just thinking, okay, we're at football practice, but nobody's there. I'm gonna ask him where's the football, where's everybody, and he must say no, there's no practice today and whatever. And then the rain start fall, and it sort of stuck way at the football ground. And in no time, I mean, I was 11 at the time, and I see the man walk over and start to fun with me. And like, the way I was shocked, I mean, I was 11, but I was so shocked that me never react to how I was like traumatized. And I mean, you live with that sort of something there, and it traumatizes you for the rest of your life. Like, you don't get over things like that. You don't get over things like that. So no, me never like when people come too close to me because it's still like traumatized me. Me not like when people come close to me. Me not like when people talk close to me and then breath dip on me. Like if people, me not like people hug me up too much. Me just not like people invade my space. So there are a lot of people, when I say enough people, go through them sort of things there. And we don't have the information. We don't have the information to be able to protect. Yes, Abby, you heard right. You heard right. And I mean, it took like, me never said nothing to my mother or my father. Because one, you know, so them probably gonna find the person and kill them. But two, we never have a relationship where you can talk to your parents at the time. You understand it? So, like, it's something like I had to struggle with throughout the whole of my childhood. Whole of my childhood, because like that one incident and the fact that I never go through no counseling, I never talk to nobody, I never mention it to nobody whatsoever. I think the first time I ever mentioned it was like I was probably about 21 or so. The first time I talked to somebody about it, like a counselor. Like I was about 21. Yeah, I was like 11. And I didn't know the person, but them still violate me, you understand? To the point where now me not really get that intimate with people. It's like me still have an issue with that. Abby saying, wait, what? Plus you're a child, says Abby. You're not gonna know how to react. Yeah, you don't know who to talk to. You want to talk to the guidance calls. You don't know. It's like it's traumatizing. It's traumatizing. And the fact of the matter is, a lot of people, a lot of children walk around who are, what you call them, like damaged goods. Enough damaged goods are walk around. And if you know, it depends on, I guess it depends on your ability, because some people can become, it can drive your mental. Some people can be mental. Some people can get involved in all sort of stuff. You understand? And some people manage to deal with it after a while. But I mean, you never get over something like that, Abby. You never ever get over something like that. And that's why I'm like, you know, and I mean, how many people in Jamaica are going to be abused and reported? So, I mean, okay, we might get the list of the foreigners who have come back to Jamaica who, you know, did some who are on the sex offenders registry. But like in Jamaica, people probably are just scared to talk or scared to report it, you know? Especially if you think about like even a, a boy child who is molested by one man. Them not gonna report because them that sort of thing is like taboo. So that little child, that little boy will not be comfortable. Hold on, I'm gonna try to adjust my light. Will not be comfortable talking to somebody and say, oh, I was molested by this one. And if you may I listen to all the boy for prime time, it is so clear that he just did not want to. He didn't want to mention that. He didn't want to mention if the guy, when he was at the pastor's house, if there were anything sexual that took place. You understand? Holistic and Abby, holistic with Abby, sorry. See the E in the place. Abby says, crazy. See why you have to be so close to your child. That's what I'm saying. So having been through that, Abby, you are going to be so sensitive to that question where you're not going to trust nobody whatsoever. Nobody at all, whether family or foe. Blessings to CDE from David. Abby says, a lot of children go through this and you don't know. Abby, when we say enough, I mean enough. I mean a lot of Jamaican people, like sometimes, like people will be talking and them say, oh, I was abused and whatever. And then you will hear other people say, oh yeah, me too, or whatever. It's a lot. When we say enough, is enough. A lot of people. And enough families, enough communities, they don't know how to deal with like all the country. We never know nothing about counseling in them time. You might talk to your pastor about certain things, but in terms of counseling and therapy and stuff like that, especially if we not cultivate a relationship where we're going to go to our parents and talk about certain things. So, I mean, as I said, middle class families probably have more of a relationship than sit down around table and discuss how was your day at school and that sort of thing. But like a working class family who sometimes never have no dinner, we're not gonna have no discussion around dinner table. As a matter of fact, thinking back in the day, in the country, when I was a child and we get with dinner, everybody just go find one assack, or we go up on the veranda, or we go in the orange tree, or everybody just go them ways and find one place to catch and sit them and have them dinner. We never have that family unit where mother, father sit down around the table and we start to talk about how was your day, how was school, or what. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a whole different ball game when people in the country would go through certain things. That's why, for example, you would have girls who would be pregnant, and it wasn't until their mother find out that they would have, they're not going to go to their mother and say, oh, mom, I did this and I'm not seeing my period anymore. And we never know if all them there. I grew up in a house with 3 sisters and we never hear the word period or pad or them sort of things pronounced because we just not deal with them the sort of topic there. Indra says, me that she chop him because mom paid her to take care of me and she worked. Wish I knew him before he died. God would vex with me. All no boy. And me that she chop him because mom paid her to take care of me. As she worked, I wish I knew him before he died. God would have to vex with me. Who you talking, Indra? Who the evangelist I got chop now? Where's the intro? You'd have to just put on your Bible for just 5 minutes and grab the machine. Holistic says, my dad was such a mad Rasta man. Everyone was afraid of him, and I'm glad he was, says Abby. Terrence Davis says, that's a point, because if I'm a bad man, etc., and I committed those crimes, and I have to register, when I come to register, just my presence alone could intimidate the person registering me. That is the thing. So is it that it's the offenders who register themselves? I never know. I just thought that once you committed the offense, you were on the list. I didn't know that it was the offenders who decide that they want to be on the list. But that's why the register online, says Abby. David, you're teaching me something, because I just thought once you did that, you were on the list and everybody was aware of it. I didn't know that it was a situation where you had to register yourself. Abby Stockerman says, and I love when my child is outspoken. Do not call them down when they're like that. Persons are less likely to trouble those when they're more outspoken and quiet. That is so true, Abby Stockerman, because I was very reserved, very polite, very manners-able. I was very manners-able and polite. Me not go fight and go along bad and stab up on them, you know? And a lot of abusers, they look for them victims. Them not just got say, all right, we're going to abuse everybody, you know. Them are going to sort out them prey. Them are going to look for the ones that were vulnerable, the one that will not have no money, the one that were sort of calm, the one that will look effeminate. You understand? And they're going to like just sort out those people. Them not going to go for a certain type of profile. David says, I'm smart and honest. I'm going to run for Prime Minister of Jamaica. David, the amount of people me know who start out smart and honest, and then I don't know what goes wrong, but even like Royal Reid, I knew Royal Reid because he used to be a teacher at Monroe, and I used to go to Manchester High, but Royal Reid was the coach of the Monroe quiz team. So that's how I came to know Royal Reid. And I mean, at the time, Royal Reid was a man who was well respectable and stuff. I mean, I still don't know the details of the case that happened with the CMU thing. But as far as I knew, Royal Reid was a very honest, simple, good teacher. So in reach up to Ministry of Education and principal at JC and stuff. So I don't know if he was changed along the way, but from what I knew of him back in the day, he was a very respectable and honorable individual. So I don't know if enough people start out in a politics with good intention and then for some reason then just go off. Even if I had to register when I was diagnosed with AIDS, I didn't register as an offender, but had to register for being diagnosed. So are you saying that you had to? No, he's saying even I had to register when I was diagnosed with AIDS. I didn't register as an offender, but I had to register for being diagnosed. So David is showing the incoherence of the whole process. As he's saying that when he realized that he had AIDS, he had to register. But offenders don't have to, and that is quite strange. But David, you have AIDS or you have HIV? As I know that like they have a lot of drugs now that can sort of reverse, not really cure it, but it can make it dormant. And I've met people who have like who had HIV, but it's like dormant with the new drugs and stuff. And they have drugs that you can take that, if, say, for example, your partner has HIV, you can take certain drugs and it causes you not to get it. So they're making progress in that domain. No, you don't decide, Lala, says Abby. You are placed on the list once you have committed the crime and you are charged. Okay, because I was wondering. Read my first story, it continue. Read my first story, it continue with it. Oh, the first one didn't come up, Ninja. That's why. The first one didn't come up. Try copy it and paste it back. All right. Abby says, not saying that's how you should behave, fight, etc. But when you are more bold and outspoken, they are less likely to try anything. But that is the truth. That is the truth, Abby. I wish I was then what I am now. Because before me the dark and before me never like to talk, me did just afraid and afraid of people and them sort of stuff. Very reserved, very shy. Now me can speak my mind, you know. David saying, no offenders have to register. Okay, but you don't have a choice, David. It's not a if I want a situation. So David and Abby don't agree. David is saying it's them who have to register. I know that in the UK, the offenders, they have to make the community aware that the offender is coming to move or to live in that community. I think that's how it works in the UK. I'm not sure how it works in France, but I know like France is a very funny country because them hide everything. Like in France, you can't even say, for example, like in America, you can say, okay, at KFC, this KFC, you have 5 Latino, 3 blacks, and 2 whites working. In France, you can't do that. In France, you cannot count people based on their what you call that now, origins. So you can't say we have 5 blacks, 3 Asians. No, you can't do that. You just have 10 people working. So John Fett in Teddy Brook shot voice. Don't you ever mention pharmaceutical drugs to me? Lol, I was diagnosed with AIDS. I started drugs but stopped and followed the Dr. Sebi methods. I went down to HIV. Oh yeah, I heard about Dr. Sebi, because my friend was telling me to check out Dr. Sebi because I have diabetes. So he was telling me to check out Dr. Sebi. I don't know if Dr. Sebi do diabetes or AIDS or whatever, but he did that. So if you watch Dr. Sebi's videos, because he had cancer and him no take no drugs either. He doesn't believe in he doesn't believe in pharmaceutical drugs. So I need to check out this Dr. Sebi. So, all right, so you went down to HIV. That's interesting. You can, David, we can do an interview one night. I think that would be a very interesting discussion to talk about your experience and life. I know you do it on your channel, but you know, can bring in the Jamfet arena. No, I'm negative, says David. Excellent. Yard Flex in the house. Long time when I link your friend. No link your friend. Big up yourself, Yard Flex. You know how it go. Bless everyone. Sometimes you just have so much somebody to go back to this. You know, you have to share the pie. But we know how it go, man. Know yourself. Big up yourself. Have drumming by guys. Oh, Abby's a drummer. We never know that. No, it's a law. They have to register. It's a must, but they have to register on their own unless the situation is a risk, and then it's automatically done. Jamfred, I am crying because I was molested by my stepfather, and mommy did nothing but denied it and said to me, if I destroy her marriage, she will kill me. You see? That's what I'm saying. A lot of us are walking around as damaged goods because we were molested, because we were not protected. We were not protected by those people who probably should have protected us. By, for example, um, it might mean say, okay, if your children, I guess at the time, we never have phone and them stuff there, but now with phone and stuff, you know, say, okay, if maybe I went to football practice and nobody not there, then we can call and say, okay, there's nobody here. Or I don't know. But I mean, it's very difficult for parents to admit that their spouse is molesting their child. That is like a very difficult thing because one, the mother is going to say, how could my husband or boyfriend um, pass me and find my child more attractive? So that's the first thing. They're going to feel uh, unattractive to think that, okay, the daughter is getting more attention. Then they're going to think that, okay, maybe the daughter did I look the man. And they're going to find so many excuses to not have to deal with that reality. You understand? So here we go. 9 people on the live, 2 people said, you know, they were molested. How much percent that is? That is like 20%. So a lot more people than you think, guys. Enough people. All some of them bad man there. All some of them bad man they were sing them bad lyrics and then gunman tune. Some of them were molested as well. Some of them were molested as children as well. So don't think so because them have a type of profile, bad boy or so. It means that they were not molested. They were. Enjoy the chat. Well, we enjoy having you, Abby. Big up yourself. Any disease he cures. So that's Dr. Sebi. I'm going to check in, drop the link, and I come up, says Godflex. No problem. So a lot of people, guys, enough more people than you think have been molested. Whole heap. Man, woman, and child. David says Dr. Sebi cures every disease. All right, Yardflex, I dropped the link. Simple Thing says, our church organization runs a program at Uchi Pines, if I say it pronounced, Alabama, that's drug-free cancer treatment. Thousands of success stories. That's what Simple Things is saying. And Simple Things is one of them who believe in the not too much of the drugs, you know. I know one of my friends went to Germany. He had cancer. We went to Germany for some herbal type treatment, and he seems to be doing well. And he's the one who told me about this Dr. Sebi guy. So I mean, you never know. That's why, as a minister, a mother, a wife, a friend, I take nothing for granted. I put God first in everything I say or do. You see, when people have ministry, at that no one hear them say, okay, I have a ministry to minister to children who were abused, or I have a ministry to minister to people who are struggling in their marriages. Or I have that is what ministry is for me. It's saying device not connected, not flex. For me, that is what ministry is. Big up yourself, Yard Flex, who is in the building. Greetings, my brother. That is a ministry. A ministry is not just about too much house and car and land. Indra is saying, I'm sorry you experienced, Indra, I'm sorry you experienced that, says David. I know a child who lied on my cousin. They beat him and killed him, but day after the funeral, the child admitted she lied and she was dead. So you see, and that's the problem. That's the problem, on both sides. You have those who are lying, say it happened to them, and you have those who are genuine about it. And we don't even know if she's saying that it was a lie because it got to the point. Yeah. Interesting. I stand up for abused children and women always because many mothers are never home to pay attention to their children. And that is so true, Indra. So yeah, Felix, what on? You sound far. You sound very far. So I think at the end of the day, we have to. Hey, Evans Hope, bless up yourself. Thank you for joining us, my Korean friend. Hope you are doing well. David says she's now about 20 something years old and she still admits she lied. Wow. Wow. Indra, I can't believe you only have 63 subscribers. And you support so much? No, sir, that cannot be right. Indra? Only 63 bananas Indra have, guys. And she support me. I forgot to go back to my drop link Sundays, But some of these people support a lot and they're not getting the support back. David, how far are you to be monetized? Because I think you got to your I think you got to your 1K, right? So what do you need now, David? Probably David need watch hour. Jamfet, I don't know, but I know I only have about 2 watch hours. 2,000. Okay, so you need another 2K. But I think the best way to get there is to actually to do lives, but interactive lives. Because I know you do a lot of silent lives, David, but you have to do some um interactive live. EZW, your manager. You have to fire the manager because he must struggle to. You know, the EZW is so busy now, we don't see him anymore. But yeah, you need to do some lives, and I mean, you can create like a panel. We can come up there and talk. I'm gonna talk to Charm because you can create the lives. Yeah, we can go up there and help you on your platform, and just get the discussion interactive and get those watch hours up. All right, because we need to look out. And Indra, I'm really surprised that Indra is only there. So I'm gonna have to pin her up one of these days. Maybe Sunday I'll do a growth stream on Sunday for content creators. David, if you leave my manager alone. David, miss enough things when me want to comment about, but I don't know if I'm correct them yet, but you did have some things that need some correction. Some of your lives, like some of the titles to some of your videos, I think you would get a lot more views if you had better titles. So for example, if you look and you say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, your fifth video is October 27. That means that you forgot to give that one a title. So that's why the date is there. You have to add tags to the videos. You probably need to be a bit more consistent in terms of you have to choose if you're doing it in if you're doing it all caps or if you're doing it in small letters. But like some of your titles are in all caps, some are in small, some are in half caps, half small. You understand? You need a little bit more consistency, brother. A little bit more consistency to get like more viewers coming over. And yeah. So yeah, we need to have a little bit of work there. All right. Yeah, that's sad, David, that she lied about it. I mean, that's something she probably won't be able to get over. Okay, Servant David, big up. Yard Flex, blessed greetings to you, bro, from David. Servant, Jump, I don't know, but I know I have only, okay, yeah, I read that one. Oh yeah, I'm gonna read that one. Yeah. Jump, I'm here. Yes, Indra, we need to get your subs up a little bit more. Let me see what I would recommend for Indra. So David, your titles, we need to change some of them titles, yeah? Get it a little bit more like I would like even those things that are part 2. I wouldn't start with part 2. I would start with like your strongest words first. And then like I don't know, Q&A, Servant David. Like Q&A, that is more of a popular title. So people will find you more than if you put part 2, because people are not really searching for part 2. You see what I'm saying? But you could put part 2 in brackets after the title. Silent Sabbath Saturday worship, that's good. It's good to mix the Sabbath and the Saturday. Thumbnails are not bad at all. Yeah. Okay. And Indra now. Indra, you need a little bit more consistency. You need some more videos out there, my dear. You need some more videos out there, and they don't have to be long videos. They can be like you could even do like a scripture a day, or like a daily word, daily thought. Like the daily bread is very popular because people go and they try and find to do them devotion and stuff. Because it seems like you're doing a more religious type channel. So you need to be a little bit more consistent with your videos. Put out a video every 2 days or every other day about, a word. You see, you do faith, you do fear. Tomorrow it could be hope. Next day it could be even try to see what's happening in the world. Like even this whole thing about the cult is popular. So as a minister, people want to hear what other ministers are saying about the topic. All right. So like a topic that could be very popular is how to know if you're in a cult. All right. Another topic that could be popular: how to leave a cult once you know that it's a cult. How do you leave a cult? All right. How do you things like that could get you a lot of views. I'm watching a premiere where a woman pastor removing demons from a girl belly in Jamaica. I saw that video already. I've seen that video. This woman pastor, very dramatic as well. A lot of them are doing it with the drama royalty. A lot of them are doing it for the drama. That's another thing. Casting out demons, how to identify demons, or how to cast out a demon. Those type of videos would do very well on your channel, Indra. Especially for Jamaica, because Jamaican people now they need to be reassured in their faith. David says, "I'm listening. I receive your help. No problem. I have to serve the food to the servers. Now I will be in and out of the chat. No problem. I'm going to actually wrap up this chat. We've been going for 2 hours. And, these heavy topics, you don't want to go too long with some of these heavy topics, because people like a more light-spirited type thing. So we might stop this one and even come back after with a lighter topic. But yeah, we're gonna try and get you some support. So all right, guys, I'm going to wrap up now. So I want to thank everybody for coming over. All those who spent some time with me tonight. Tomorrow might be fun and games. So if you can join me tomorrow. In the meantime, take care of yourselves and your loved ones. This was Jamfet Live.